Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are Perez, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri and Russell. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Bottas, Hauger and Sargent. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:30.9. We don't currently have the data for that request.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Things have changed slightly around the Marina Bay circuit for 2023. 4 corners have been taken out, the lap length reduced to just over 3 miles. That might be a welcome relief to the drivers, might be even more of a relief for their brakes. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Perez, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Liam Lawson, Verstappen, Albon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon, Joe, Magnussen, Hauger, Bottas, Sargent and Daniel. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going. Okay, so let's go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. Okay, we're looking at some gearbox wear, so try to keep the number of shifts to a minimum, please. Okay, we've got a full course caution. The safety car...
It's never easy to make it across the finish line here in Singapore, but they've done so with some style here today to take a remarkable victory. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I'll probably go for Pierre Gasly. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in amongst the pack, but it's the driver's job to capitalise on those opportunities, and he did so with a lot of skill.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
The department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
leading the pack. That's P1. And we're in front of Russell, Perez and Hamilton. Currently the fastest lap is a 1 minute 21.0. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Here are the top 5 cars as things stand. Norris, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Ocon and Albon. So, just ahead of us in this session at the moment are Ocon, Albon and Verstappen. And just behind us are Perez, Piastri and Ricciardo. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:21.6. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Perez, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Gasly, Ocon, Verstappen, Albon, Liam Lawson, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Daniel, Magnussen, Stroll, Bottas, Hauger and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, goodbye. We're under the lights once again here in Qatar. Last year we took a year off due to a small footballing tournament that was being hosted, but it's all excitement on the track now. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Daniel, Tsunoda, Gasly, Verstappen, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Joe, Hamilton, Albon, Liam Lawson, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hauger, Stroll, Bottas, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment, just be careful. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, DRS is now available. The underbody's taken a little damage, just watch out for it. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap, box this lap. Okay, you've moved into P4. That's 4th place now. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. The pits. Yuki in the pit lane now. Okay, good work. Great pass. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done. Pack, that's P1, Norris behind. Okay, the gap behind is 1.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Final lap. Final lap. Push, push. Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Yes, thank you. Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a really strong drive and a great finish. Well done.
McLaren have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.